Hi everyone, welcome back to Steel Toe Rookie. Today we're fortunate enough to be at the work site for Miller Paving, who's going to help us with a little education on paving. Okay, here we are. We're fortunate to have Fritz with us for Miller Paving from this work crew right here. And Fritz is going to tell us a little bit about what he does on the job site.
Yeah, well, just a foreman for Miller, and we do all the patching around town for city of North Bay. And yeah, we just excavate all the cuts and set everything to grade and come in and pave it afterwards.
So how did you get into this?
I've been with Miller for 11 years, and I just applied just to get in. I was an operator before a little bit and laborer, and then just over time kind of worked my way up, and yeah, lead hand and driver and operator the paver, and yeah.
Then you move up to the big equipment.
Yeah.
Which I remember as a kid when I was we'd come up against construction, and we'd always see the guys with these great big huge machines, and I always thought that I would love to drive one of those things. So you guys must have some highs and some lows of being in construction. I know that we were talking earlier about how much I hate driving through the potholes and yet how much I hate coming across a construction crew.
Yeah, I know a lot of the people get pissed off when we're blocking the road like we are right now, and they got to go around like an extra 1 minute. You know what I mean?
Right.
People get pissed off and don't want to get held up in traffic, but we're just trying to fix the roads and make everything smooth again. And people want the roads fixed, and then they get pissed off when we're there. But it is what it is, and we're just trying to make the city better and easier to drive around.
Right. Well, we thank you.
Yeah.
It may not seem like it, but we thank you. At the end of the day, we thank you. So you guys must come across all kind of climate issues. I mean, we're up north here.
Oh, definitely. And in the summer, it's so hot, and with the asphalt being 200-something degrees, and then when it's plus 30 outside, it's very, very difficult to do sometimes. You got to take our breaks here and there, make sure the guys are always drinking lots of water and whatnot, or else you almost see guys passing out sometimes. It's so hot. Yeah, at the end of the year, it gets really hard too, because it's a lot easier to work, but it's harder to work with the asphalt.
Right.
Because the asphalt, obviously, the hotter it is, the easier it is to do anything.
So can you tell us roughly when the beginning of a paving season would be versus the end of a paving season?
Yeah, we usually start in May, after May 2-4 weekend, unless there's emergency cuts to do beforehand, and usually we pave into mid-November, end of November kind of thing.
Okay, thanks Fritz for giving me that information. Would it be possible for you to maybe show me what you do on the job?
Yeah, of course.
All right, thanks.
Always seatbelt every time. No matter if it's just flat or not, you always got to have this on. So, on, start her up. Pull the emergency brake off, so now I can go back and forth, right? Like that's your vibe. Okay. Turn the water on.
Okay, we're with Jason here, who's agreed to share a little bit of time with us. Jason's going to tell us a bit about flagging and the purpose of it and how it prevents and helps out.
The main thing for me is controlling traffic, make sure my guys are safe, and make sure our trucks get in and out safely, and as well as protect the public. That's kind of the two main things for us here, and just keep them moving, because we don't want them angry with us,
Right.
Yeah.
No, I've always wondered when I come across, like, is it like a long job because it's repetitive?
It is, for sure,
a starter job, or is it?
It is a starter job, but for us, we always say it's one of the most important, like if you don't pay attention or whatever, somebody gets hurt. So
someone gets hurt.
It is the most important.
So it's important,
yeah.
It can be a bit of a long day.
It is, for sure, yeah.
So is there any qualifications, or how do you get to be a flagger?
Well, when we have our startup meetings, they find out who the flaggers are. They take a Book 7 course, which gives them an intro into everything, and And then after that, it's just experience
Right.
is the big thing. And we keep an eye on them, like at the beginning, you know, make sure they're doing it right.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, Jason, maybe you could show us how it's done?
Sure, sure.
Yeah,
sure.
thanks.
Okay. The first thing is making sure everybody sees what I'm doing, you know, and make sure I get eye contact with everybody. And then I'll turn around, make sure everything's good this way. And one of the keys is I'm watching every road. I'm also watching for kids coming anywhere.
Do I got to give this guy the stop? That guy? Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, nice. Okay, so we're with Cory at Miller Paving. We've kind of moved along, and now it looks like I'm not sure what we're doing, but it looks like we're tearing up a road. And Cory's going to give us a little intel to what is exactly going on.
Yeah, so this is just a typical patch that we do pretty much on a daily basis, 10, 15 times a day. This is how we normally set up. The truck backs in right next to the backhoe, and he mucks it all out, keep it to grade. Usually a typical road thickness is 80 mil, right? 80 millimeters thick. So we set it a little bit higher, so as the packer comes or the roller comes, it'll sink down another 20, 10 mil. So we have to allow for that sometimes too, so make sure we have enough material. We don't want to be too high or too low because we predict how much asphalt we're going to need and use.
Right.
So you don't want to have too much at the end or not enough.
Sure.
So the grade has to be set properly and make sure it's done right. Yeah, usually before the season starts, before we bring back the full crew, 4 or 5 of us will go out for about a couple weeks. We got about 6, 7 pages of cuts that we got to do around the city, and we'll go around and we'll saw cut every single one of them, and the city inspector will come with us and he'll mark it out. That's so you can see the white paint that you see on all the patches.
Right.
It's a city guy that marks it all out for us, so we know exactly where we have to cut. We don't cut too far away or not enough.
So I am curious, once the asphalt gets into the truck here, where does that go? Like, does it get reused, or is it?
Usually we'll mix it in with something or use it on rural areas out in the country somewhere or something like that.
Okay, here we are. We wanted to thank Miller Paving for all their help today. We had a lot of guys give us some information and background on asphalting. Right behind us is the finished product of what we were working on today. We will see you all tomorrow.